Have you ever thought of spending a lot of money on a gaming mouse will make you a better gamer? Well, you're about to find out today. So the three mice we'll be testing today here are the SteelSeries Sensei, the Razer DeathAdder Elite, and Logitech G Pro Wireless. The format of the video will be first, game test, played many matches of the popular FPS games Overwatch and Counter-Strike Global Offensive. Overwatch was around high gold to platinum gameplay and CSGO was around gold matchmaking. After the game test, I will give a summary of each of the mice and their performance. Finally, I will give my final thoughts and if spending loads of money on a mouse actually helps you in games or not. The SteelSeries Sensei mouse actually felt pretty solid. Nice balance, had some good side grips. The mouse wheel was a little bit on the weaker side when it comes to the other two mice here, but it also is a quarter of the price of the other two. The only really bad thing when it came to this mouse was the cheaper plain rubber cable or plastic cable that it has on it, rather than a braided cable or a higher quality rubber cable. But the gameplay of this mouse was good and consistent with the results that compared of the other mice that we tested here today. Now on to the DeathAdder Elite, and I don't really know if you can tell in the gameplay, but I felt a little sluggish here. I don't know if it's just because I'm not used to the mouse like I used to, but this used to be my all-time favorite mouse. And a lot of people are actually probably used to this mouse just because this is probably one of the most popular mice that's ever been released. But I don't know if it's just the bigger than the mice I've been using for a while. I was using the Razer Mamba before I did this test just to see. But I mean, I guess it changed a little bit, but this is still a great mouse. But if you get it and you're used to a cheaper mouse or something like that, you'll need time to get used to a bigger, heavier mouse. Otherwise, the gameplay is probably lesser than the other two mice we tested here, just because I wasn't really used to it, but it might take a while to get used to a little heft and the broadness of the mouse, I guess I should say. Now, last but not least, we have the Logitech G Pro Wireless. This mouse is just a joy to use. It's so well balanced, has the right proportions. To me, it is close to the most perfect mouse we have gotten in a while, especially for me anyway. There might be some other mouse options out there that might be better for you, but so far I understand why so many people, including pro players and top FPS streamers like Shroud, why they use this mouse. It's just fabulous. While it may not increase your game stats, but your gameplay will be very consistent. And this mouse to me just shows where the mouse industry as a whole is heading. So after doing our gaming benchmarks, I'm going to give you my thoughts and opinions on all these. And at first, I'm going to give you a rating on the quality, feel, features, and software of each mouse. And maybe some little quirks there, but then I'm going to give you my full opinion on each of them. So starting off first, we're going to go with the Sensei 310 from SteelSeries. For quality, I gave it a 6. Feel, I gave it an 8. Features, a 6. And software, a 5. And the software, the only reason it's that low is because it's mainly I only used it to change the lights on it. I didn't really feel a need to do anything else with it. For the Razer DeathAdder Elite, for the quality, I gave a 7. A little bit better than the SteelSeries. The feel, I gave a 7 also. A little bit less than the SteelSeries that time. For features, I gave a 4. And software, I gave an 8. Now for the G Pro Wireless quality, straight 10. I feel it's an amazing mouse, and the 10 rating shows it. For feel, I gave it an 8, same as the SteelSeries mouse. Features, I also gave it an 8 because it's wireless and has the changeable buttons on each side. And the software, I gave it a 6. Now don't let that scare you. The software is good. The only reason it dropped probably 2 or 3 points. To me, it'd probably be tied with the Razer software, maybe 1 point less. But because of that, there's a bug with the program where it spikes my CPU up to 100%, and I have a 12-core processor, so I mean, I don't know, it just bugs out. If you restart the program, it's fine, but that little bug just kind of annoys me to drop it that low. Now, the G Pro, you can just tell from the moment you open the box that it's going to be a great product and that it's great quality. Great feel may be a tad light for me, but I'm used to a little bit more heavy mice. There wasn't any bugs, glitches, or anything else that I've noticed from other wireless mice I've owned, like the Razer Mamba. And all in all, it's probably the mouse to buy for gaming if you don't have any price point and you want the best one out there. Now to my favorite mouse of the past, the Death Adder Elite. After using this mouse for a while now, I noticed how heavy it is compared to the other mice that we have compared today. For some reason, I don't know, I guess I just liked it back in the day, but using it now, even compared to the wireless mice from Logitech, it's completely, to me, it's just too heavy. And also after playing Overwatch and CS and even just browsing the internet, I noticed like how outdated the switches feel. That they may be a little worn, but I only had the mouse before I put it up for about 6, maybe 8 months. They feel a little sluggish compared to the G Pro, but they do feel a tad bit more quality than the Steel series. It's just they're a little mushy, whereas like the Steel series and Logitech are a little bit more of a clicky style. All in all, a great mouse if you have large hands and don't want to fork over the top dollar for the top wireless mouse. Last but not least is the SteelSeries Sensei 310. This I think is for the person that wants to upgrade from their mouse that came with their PC, say if you got a pre-built, or maybe you just bought a cheap wired mouse combo whenever you built your first computer. I think it offers a great little sensor with a nice mouse body with the rubberized side grips on it, and even a little RGB lighting on the side buttons. Cut that part. And it even offers a little bit of RGB lighting, and the side buttons on both sides can be a bit annoying at times, and it is a little like short for a mouse that I noticed, but I mean once you get used to it, it ought to be fine. But for around $30, you really can't beat it while still having a recognizable name to back the product like SteelSeries. So in conclusion, does an expensive $150 mouse really make you better at gaming? Not really. It may make you a little bit more consistent, and the mouse may actually perform more consistently than some of the cheaper mice. But any one of these 3 mice would serve you well if you were trying to, just say, go into an esports career and you actually needed something consistent. But really the only thing you're getting with the high price point is great wireless functionality, lighting effects, some of the upgraded softwares. Really, as long as you don't need those features, I would say even a $30 mouse would be fine. But it's mainly just whatever your price point is and how much you want to spend. Kind of what your price point is, isn't it? But what features you need along with that. But I don't think any of these mice that you go with will be a bad choice. I just think my choice from further on will be the Logitech G Pro Wireless, mainly because it has a great quality feel. I think it's going to last. So far it's been consistent for the past few weeks, and I don't think I'll have a single problem with it. Anyway, if you learned anything from this video, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. And see you in the next one.